Talk to me about that understanding and that branding, because with Omega, when you were with Omega, one of the big, strong moves you made was to put Omega watches in the James Bond films. This is before products were being put in films.
Yes.
This is way ahead of the curve.
Yes.
Why do that? How even think about something like that? How to execute it, and what was the response?
A young Madame Barbazini, a young woman, a young lady, having worked at Philip Morris in the Formula One circuit, on the circuit, for Philip Morris, for Marlboro in those days.
Yeah.
She came to me, because we had employed her. She came to me and said, we should go into the new film, James Bond. I said, what do you mean? Yeah, the brother Broccoli have stopped to fight, and now Eon Production and Universal Studios are planning a new film. And we could be in this new film. I said, but James Bond, that's for old people, it's for me. It's Ursula Andress coming out of the sea with the nice white bikini and the white sand and blue sea and blue sky. And Sean Connery, that's for my generation. I want Omega to connect to the new generation. And she said, but it will connect, it will be successful amongst the new generation. I said, I don't believe you. And stop. End of the story. She comes back, thanks God. I was so lucky. She comes back a second time and says the same, with more details. There will be a new actor, he's great, Pierce Brosnan, blah, blah, blah. I said, Madame Barbazini, I told you already, I'm not interested. I'm looking to connect to young people, not a remake of an old film. And anyhow, you will never be able to beat Sean Connery. He was the best actor ever for James Bond, and Ursula Andress was the most sexy one. End of the story. And now she comes back a third time. My driving time to go to my office at Omega was 1 hour and 40 minutes one way, and 1 hour and 40 minutes the second way, back home. So after the third time, she came, and after the third time, I said no. I drove home, and I said to myself, listen, Biver, you are now more than 40 years old. Maybe you should listen to her, because maybe you don't understand anymore where the future is. Till today, you were part of the future, so you knew exactly where the future was going. You were sitting in the front of the future. Now, you are out of the train. You are no more sitting in the future. So maybe you have to learn. At that moment, 1993, I was 44 years old. I said, Biver son, now time has come to learn, because you don't know anymore. On a natural way, you don't know. I came back the next day, I asked her to come, and I said, listen, I want to learn from you. Why? And so much. So she explained everything, and she said, I can make an appointment with Eon Productions and Universal Studios in LA. I said, perfect. And I went to LA. I flew to LA and I met the people. And the people told me, listen, you have the possibility to put on the wrist of the 007, Mr. Pierce Brosnan, put on the wrist an Omega watch, and it will cost you so much. $50,000, $60,000, I don't remember.
That's all?
It was not so expensive. No, that's all in those days, 94, 95. So I said, wow, great. But you know what? I would like to pay 1 million. And they looked at me and said, what do you mean? And I told them, I have made a theory at Omega that 1 + 1 must never make 2. Except in finance. 1 and 1 must always make 3. And you ask me 1, 60 or 50,000 or 9, I don't remember, it was a very small. You ask me, I say now something, you ask me 60,000. I want to give 1 million, and then I want not 1,060,000, I want 2 million. Then I have 1 and 1 is 3. And they said, oh, listen, such a theory we never heard. But yeah, I see what you say. Okay, you give us 1 more million. Okay, then we can give you 30-second film, no, 15-second film, 30-second film, 40-second film made of the rushes of the original picture. And we assemble this and it will look like the real film. I said, wow, fantastic. We will give you the right to promote this film on different TV channels 6 months before the film comes out to the public. Wow, I said, fantastic. We will give you the picture of Pierce Brosnan dressed James Bond in tuxedo, being in the casino and saying, my name is Bond, James Bond, bam, with the eyes, choo, choo. You get this picture. You can use this picture 6 months before the film starts in the country, etc., etc., etc. We got so much, and we got, with all this money, all what we got, we were able to activate our involvement and to say more or less to people, listen, if you go to the next James Bond that will come out in 6 months, look at the watch. That's probably the watch you should buy for your husband. Or that's the watch, young man, you should wear. So when the film came out, everybody looked at the watch because we had prepared 6 months before, wait till the film comes out. You will see the watch, you will see the watch. So the activation, thanks to this million that we added, gave us, I don't know, 10, 15 million at the end. It was the biggest success. We connected James Bond with an Omega Seamaster, and we were selling nicely 6, 7, 8, or 10,000 pieces per year. A $3,000 watch. 1 year after the film, we were selling 50,000. So the result was just magic. And what's the why? What lesson can I learn? Number one, you must listen to people, whoever the people are. Number two, it's not enough to listen, you must also learn. Because if you listen and you don't learn, it's like you go to school and you don't. So listening is not enough. You must also learning, taking the consequences from what you have listened. And number three, you must be different. You cannot just put the watch on the wrist and say, I hope consumer will see it. Come on. You cannot be passive. Hey. 1 and 1 must make 3. Okay? So you add something and you activate it. Boom, easy. And the result was just glorious, phenomenal.
That's a great lesson.
That's a great lesson.
That's a great lesson.